Have you ever looked at a Polish word and just had your brain freeze up, wondering how on earth you're supposed to pronounce it? Well, you're definitely not alone. But today, we're going to demystify the whole thing.
Okay, let's just rip the Band-Aid off right away with a classic. This word means beetle. And yeah, it's pretty famous for making people just want to give up. It looks like someone just fell asleep on the keyboard, right? A total mess of consonants. But what if I told you there's a logic to it? A clear, consistent set of rules.
Because that's the real secret here. Polish spelling isn't random, it's a code. And once you have the keys, you can unlock almost any word. I promise, by the time we're done with this, you'll be able to look at that beetle word and not even flinch. So, are you ready? Let's crack this thing.
All right, so where do we even begin? Well, like with any code, you have to learn the symbols first. So we're going to start with the absolute foundation, the alphabet. And I've got some great news for you right at the start. You already know most of it. Seriously, all of these letters on the left, they sound pretty much just like they do in English. You're already way ahead of the game. The real fun, the stuff that makes Polish sound like Polish, is over there on the right. Those are the letters with the extra little bits, the tails and the dashes.
So let's lock in the vowels because they are refreshingly consistent. Unlike English, they don't change their minds. A is always a, like father. E is always e, like egg. I is e, like eat. O is ah, like walk. U is oo, like blue. And this last one, Y, is just a short it sound, like in tin. Simple, right? No curveballs here.
Now for our first truly unique feature, the nasal vowels. You see these two letters with the little tails? That tail is a signal. It tells you to let a little bit of air and sound go through your nose. So, on sounds a lot like the on in the French word bon. And is like the n in the French word fin. It's a subtle sound, but it's a huge part of sounding authentic. Okay, let's knock out these marked consonants. The chi with the little accent, that's just a soft chi sound, like in cheese. Now this la with the slash through it, this one's my favorite. It's just a wa sound, like in widow. That's it. The nya is that nya sound from the middle of onion. She is a soft sh sound, like sheep. And the zha with the dot, that's the zha sound from the middle of the word pleasure. See? Every mark has one reliable job to do.
Great. So you've got the individual letters down. The next piece of the puzzle is all about teamwork. You know how in English the letters S and H get together to make a brand new sh sound? Well, Polish does that exact same thing.
And look at how straightforward these are. CZ makes a hard ch sound, like in chop. SZ makes a hard sh sound, like shop. DZ is the j sound from jungle. And here we go, our first little mystery. RZ makes the exact same z sound as the letter Z we just learned. Now I know what you're thinking. Why are there two? Hold that thought. It's a clue, and we're going to solve it later.
Okay, get ready for a huge aha moment here. This next rule is a real game changer. It's one of the master keys to the whole system, and it explains why a bunch of those special soft sounds we saw can be written in two different ways.
So let's take that soft ch sound. The letter T and the combination CI are pronounced exactly the same. So how do you know which one to write? It all depends on what comes next. If the sound is followed by a consonant, you use the T with the accent. But if the sound is followed by a vowel, you write CI instead. It's not a sound rule, it's a spelling rule.
And here's the really brilliant part. It's a pattern. That same logic applies to all these other pairs. The soft sh sound is spelled sh before a consonant, but si before a vowel. The n sound is nya or ni. The soft z is z or z. Once you see this pattern, a huge chunk of Polish spelling just clicks right into place. It's a system.
Okay, we've got the notes, right? The individual sounds. Now it's time to talk about the beat, the rhythm of the language. And this is the best part because there's one golden rule that governs pretty much every single word in Polish.
This is it. Penultimate stress. It sounds kind of fancy, but it's incredibly simple. It just means you put the emphasis on the second syllable from the end. Not the beginning, not the very end, but the one right before the end. If you remember this one rule, you will instantly sound so much more natural.
Let's hear how it works. For television, it's te, le, whiz, or. For teacher, nauczycielka. For printer, drukarka. See? The rule even holds for shorter words. A two-syllable word like window, okno. The stress is on the first syllable, which is the second to last. And a one-syllable word like dom for house, well, it gets all the stress. It's beautifully consistent.
All right, we are in the home stretch now. We've got the letters, the combinations, and the rhythm down. The very last part of our code-breaking mission is to solve the mystery of those few sounds that have two different spellings.
And this is the mindset you need to have. When you come across a sound with two spellings, don't think of it as confusing. Think of it as a clue. The spelling isn't an accident. It's telling you something important about the word's history or how it's built.
Let's start with the U sound. It can be spelled with a U or an O. The biggest clue is something I call the exchange rule. If you see an O with that dash over it, it's a huge hint that in another form of that word, it will probably exchange for a plain O. For example, rug means corner, but rugi means corners. See that swap? The O became an O. That's your signal.
Next up, that Z sound mystery. Z versus RZ. A great clue for when to use RZ is to look at what letter comes before it. It often follows hard consonants like P, B, T, D, K, and G. Another fantastic clue is if that Z sound changes to a simple R in a related word. Think of how lekarz, a male doctor, changes to lekarka, a female doctor.
And our final pair, the H sound, spelled either H or CH. I'm going to give you the #1 power tip for this one. If you hear the H sound at the very end of a word, it is almost always spelled CH. Always. Like the word for roof, dach. That one little trick will solve most cases you run into.
And that's it. You've got all the pieces. The letters, the combos, the rhythm, the spelling clues. You have all the keys to crack the code. So, you ready to face the final boss? Let's go all the way back to the beginning. Let's pronounce that beetle.
Okay, let's break it down using all our new rules. First, ch. We know that's a ch sound. Next, rz. That's our zh sound. Then we've got en, our nasal en. And that monster cluster at the end, sh, ch. It's just two sounds we learned back to back. Sh, which is sh, and ch, which is ch. So, what do we have? Ch, j, en, sh, ch. Let's put it all together. Chrąszcz. Not so scary now, is it?
And just like that, you did it. You cracked the Polish spelling code. What looked like total chaos is actually a beautiful, logical system where every single piece has its place. You now have the foundational tools to look at a Polish word and know how to pronounce it. Seriously, well done.
You know, once you crack the code of one complex system, it kind of makes you wonder, what other language mysteries are just waiting out there to be unraveled? What should we tackle next? Let us know. Thanks for joining me on The Explainer.